Chapter 5 is almost over. And I am seeing everywhere online, that it's the worst chapter in Fortnite history. Today, I'm going to tell you why it's not, and why it is in fact the second best chapter we've ever had. Let's get into it right now. So I want to end this video on a positive note, so I'll get through the negatives, or what's claimed to be negatives. So first thing is the movement. The movement was only slower for a portion of the first season of this chapter, and then it went back to normal. So, people complaining about things being slower. Me personally, I believe you should probably cry about it more than complain, because it could have been a lot worse in your eyes. And the animation looks better because of the speed that you're going at. If you're going at insane speeds, then yeah, it would look a bit worse. But at the speed which you usually go anyway, when just moving on the Battle Royale map, the animation's better. Looking at bullet drop off, which seems to be the next issue people have. Adapt. Honestly, adapt. Just adapt more. Are you that bad at the game? I can't adapt. It's not even that bad. It honestly isn't. You shouldn't be able to tell a difference unless you're from really far out. Which in that case, I don't know if you should be taking the fight or not. You could just let the player by, I guess. You wouldn't get banned for teaming unless you interacted with the player. Okay, right, the map. Stop complaining. Okay, the map was great. In fact, probably quite an interesting map. We had Snooty Steps. I'm just going to name ones from the first season. We had Snooty Steps, Lava Square, Grand Glacier, Fencing Fields. What was it? Reckless Railways. Those are all massive POIs. We had Hazy Hillside as well, which was a very nice POI, which people liked. So, when you think about that, can't complain too much about the POIs, because they're all great, apart from maybe like Rebel's Roost. Now, the map itself, the terrain, I know that's what most people don't like. I'm gonna be honest. Cry a bit more. I can't. I don't think I can hear your tears enough. Now, I would rate the map a solid 9 out of 10. Because it was a really good map and it didn't require tilted towers. So when it doesn't require tilted towers to be a brilliant map, it is a great map. Now, if you were to ask me personally, I think when it comes to the seasons are probably a lot better than what we've had most years. Chapter 5 Season 1 was a great first season where everything was pretty much done right apart from the shotgun meta. But that had been the case for like the last 3 years. It had a great map. It was basically just one of those really good first seasons of Fortnite, which is really good. The second season, the biggest complaint with that one was that we had like these avatar graphics for longer than the actual Greek items And if you ask me, it's valid. Okay? It's valid. But apart from that, I mean, you can't call that a bad season. Because if you call that a bad season, then I don't know what you're doing. Because, I mean, even Midas came back. You'd wanted Midas since he, like, just like chapter 2, season 3. Like, the second he left, people were like, where's Midas? I want Midas back. And then you finally got him back. And then people began to say that that's a bad season. And that it was pointless. Pick a side, honestly. Chapter 5, season 3. Okay, this is the first one where the hate's valid. Reload is... Reload carries this. Reload honestly carries this chapter. No, not this chapter, this season. Chapter 5, season 3 is the second worst season ever. Just behind Primal. But then, when you have one of the worst seasons ever, which just so happens to be a season 3, sometimes you get one of the best seasons of all time, being a Marvel season. So, Chapter 2, Season 4 is the best season of all time. Chapter 5, Season 4 is the successor to that. Does it succeed in fulfilling the legacy? Sort of. Do I think that it surpasses? Absolutely not. But any complaints you have of this season are invalid. Apart from Mysterio's medallion. That's the only thing, like, invalid about this season. Everything else is valid. It's a great season. It's probably maybe the second best season ever. And I'm going to get hate for that because there's going to be people telling me Chapter 2, Season 2 is the best season of all time. I'm going to be honest, that's overrating it. I'll make a video on ranking the seasons at a later point. But, no, I would say every season, apart from Wrecked, was a brilliant one. I think it's probably the most... It's probably been the most consistent chapter we've had since Chapter 1. Because Chapter 2 was so inconsistent. I'll list all the bad seasons. Season 1 was bad. It was too long. There was barely any content. People had to make fashion shows just so that they could get content. If that doesn't tell you anything, I don't know what will. Then, Chapter 2, Season 2, well, that was a good one. Chapter 2, Season 3, horrible. Absolutely horrible. Then we also have Chapter 2, Season 5, bad. Chapter 2, Season 6 is the worst thing ever made. Chapter 2, Season 7 was literally just a placeholder. It barely contributed to anything. And then Chapter 2, Season 8 was kind of mid, to be honest. Chapter 3 was good first half. Vibing was bad. Unpopular take. Paradise was a great season. It's overhated. Now, Chapter 4 was incredibly bad. Apart from the last season. I'm not counting OG, because OG was not a part of Chapter 4. Get that out of your head. If you believe that, then you are 100% delusional. So, is the hate for Chapter 5 valid? Absolutely not. It might genuinely be the most invalid hate ever. And it's the second best chapter of all time. And you can't convince me otherwise. So with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one.